Been logging in the area since the early 1900s. And just like the American cowboy and ranch hand, who after work would take the skills of the day's work and made them into contests which spawned the modern rodeo, the lumberjacks have taken the rudiments of their livelihood and made them into competitive events. And speaking of competitors, we have them here from all over the world, from Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and Spain, along with the top Americans. The Timber Carnival is underway, and let's move to action. And we're up on the platform for our first event, the horizontal block, and this is an international heat right here. That's the old veteran Clayton Stewart from Tasmania, the Bosque from Spain, Jose Herrera, and from Montana, Hugh Adams. 14-inch turn alder block. The idea is to go through that block in the quickest time. They go from both sides. Look at the Bosco, Herrera. They have to be accurate. They have to be strong. That's Clayton Stewart. He's in his 60s. The Bosque has already made his turn. Herrera, he's in the lead now. And as soon as that log comes apart, the time will stop. Herrera, the leader right now. Watch him. He's going to have it here in just a second. There, he's got it, and the winner is Jose Herrera from Spain, and his time is 28 and 96 seconds. Very strong, especially good. Let's watch him in slow motion. There are two loggers here from the Boss Country who put on special exhibitions of endurance chopping. And they take 6 logs like that and go through them. All right, we're ready now for another heat. This is Earl Marcellus, 35 years old, Leavenworth, Washington. He's going against Larry Vesey, 27 years old, of Aberdeen, Washington. Vesey's a very powerful. He weighs about 225 pounds. You have to be accurate. You want to come into the right angle and get the biggest chips. These axes, by the way, cost about $150 a piece, most of them made in Australia. Vesey's already made his turn. The time to beat is 28 and 96 seconds. Vesey's in the lead. He's ahead, and he is going to have an excellent time here, and he is just about through. Couple of more. He's got it. Larry Vesey. And Vesey beats the time of the Spaniard Herrera. His time is 27 and 60 hundredths. In slow motion. Watch the power. Imagine the muscles used here. The arms, the shoulders, the back. If you want to stay in shape and stay young, this is a sport for you. Here are the final standings with the winner, Larry Vesey, 27 years old, from Aberdeen, Washington. Right now, let's talk to the winner. This is the winning edge, the axe of Larry Vesey of Washington, who had just won the horizontal block chop. Congratulations, Larry.
Thank you.
This is where's the steel-headed axe from?
I believe from Sweden and Australia they come from.
Well, yeah, you can really use that axe. You not only have power, but you have accuracy with it. Congratulations on winning the horizontal block chop. All right, our next event coming up is going to be the Jack and Jill. And if you say, well, women would not be in this, they are. They've invaded all sports. And this is young Kathy Gross. And her partner will be veteran Marv Jensen, going against a married team, Hugh Adams and Marlene Adams. They're going through this fur block here. Man and women on a team. Look at this young gal pull. She's pulling all her weight with 65-year-old Merv Jensen of New Zealand. And boy, did they go through there. A time of 10.87, and it is going to be a new record. A new record for the Albany Timber Carnival, and they should be happy. Watch in slow motion now. Merv Jensen won this event last year with a different partner, and he's found another good one for this season. How did you get into this sawing?
Our family started up with an exhibition, and they decided that they liked it, so they went on. And I've been in it ever since with them.
Have you been a logger in New Zealand, Merv?
Oh, in my younger days, yes. We used to do a certain amount, but mostly ranching and farming and that kind of thing.
That's what you're doing now?
Well, semi-retired.
You don't look too retired to me.
Tired, just.
Tired, okay. There they are, Merv Jensen, Kathy Gross in the Jack and Jill bucking event. And as you look at some of the old logging days of the giant redwoods, we'll tell you we'll be back with a fun event, the men's log rolling, right after this. This is probably the fun event of a timber carnival, log rolling. And a log rolling veteran here is Roy Bartlett of Clarkson, Washington. He's been doing this competition for over 30 years. He's a veterans champ. Not much equipment needed for this event, Roy.
No, not really. The basic thing is there are your shoes. There are a pair of baseball shoes with spikes in the bottom of them, and that's it.
And then it's the man himself, balanced footwork. What about the footwork here?
Well, the footwork part of it there, of course, you got one foot on each side of the center of balance there, your nose hanging over in your seat there, and, you know.
Yeah. So much for an awkward demonstration. Here will be the finals now of the men's log rolling. And on your left, in the checkered shirt, is Phil Scott from Barrington, Nova Scotia. He's won this event 7 times. He's going against Dave Fisher of Kennewick, Washington, who won it last year. 2 out of 3 decide. Now look at the contestants' eyes. They watch each other's feet to see which way they're going to spin the log. There's a change of pace here. They'll spin fast. They'll reverse spin. And the idea is to get the opponent off balance, and the first fall goes to Phil Scott, so he's 1 up. And he wants to grab this title back again. Now let's see how Scott did it in slow motion. He has slowed that log down to a... Now he spun it right, then left, and he had him there and put him off balance. So we're ready now for the second go-around. Best 2 out of 3. Phil Scott's on the right, Dave Fisher on the left. Scott has been doing this for years. This is an old trick of the early days of logging. They used to call them river rats when they brought the logs down the rivers in the spring runoff. And the rats went out with the log breaking up with the big poles, and they had to be very agile. And this is where the sport of log rolling really began. It was a dangerous sport. Many of them were crushed in the logs coming down the rivers of New Brunswick and the Northeast and the Pacific Northwest. But what a skill this is. Fisher's giving him a real go-around this time. Phil Scott, 7 times the winner here, one of the best. Dave Fisher won this event last year from Washington. They go, oh, and down goes Dave Fisher, and it's all over. Phil Scott has regained his championship here at the Albany Timber Carnival, his 8th championship. Now in slow motion. Phil Scott, look at him now. Watch each other's feet. What footwork here. And let's talk to the winner, Phil Scott. This is Phil Scott from Nova Scotia, who had just won his 8th log rolling championship here in the Timber Carnival. How did you get started log rolling, Phil?
I got started in log rolling when I was just a kid. My father had a sawmill, and we had a sawmill in our family for a long time, and they were still driving logs down the rivers to the mill them days. And I started when I was 7 years old, running across the boom, and we'd pick a good log out of the boom and roll on it, my brothers and I and my sisters, and that's how we got going. And you appear in 8 or 9 tournaments a year? Yeah, right. When I was young, we had local tournaments up through my teens until I was 20, and then I started traveling abroad to Oregon, Washington, BC. You practice every day? Yes, I do. In the winter, we have dry log in the basement. To roll on there. Congratulations on winning your 8th title. Thank you. Phil Scott from Nova Scotia. Our next event on the platform is going to be the double bucking saw contest. 2 men to a team, and they're going to go to work on a 30-inch turned fir log. A brother team here, Bill and Jim Bob Damascus, against the veterans Merv Jensen and Ron Hartel, an all-around logging champ. How many tournaments do you compete in a year?
I take them all, and it could vary anywhere between 15 to 20, something like that.
Is there good money in it?
Well, we make a little bit. We can make enough to pay our expenses, but you got to win to do that even.
It's like the rodeo hand, too. You're on your own. You have to pay your own expenses.
Yep. We got to pay the whole shot unless there's somebody out there wants to pay it for me.
You've been in this business a long time. How much longer can you keep going? Is it a young man's game?
Certain events, yeah, definitely certain events. You can see the young guys are coming on real strong this year. But your experience, after you've been there a while, that counts a lot, too.
They made a preliminary cut of 1 3/4 inch deep for the saws, and away they go. The veterans on the left, Jensen and Hartel. The brother team, Bill and Jim Bob Damascus of Oregon. There they are. They're on the right. And the first half of this sawing contest is the easiest. Now they're lubricating the saws. Now it really gets done. Push and pull. They kid themselves. To win here, you must have a strong back and a weak mind, but they don't have weak minds. There's the veterans. This is going to be close. There's the brother team, the Damascus from Oregon. And they're in the lead slightly now. They have to cut all the way through. They're just about there. The all-time record, 32 and 1/10 seconds. They win it, but not toward the record. A time of 42 flat for Bill and Jim Bob Damascus. And they are tired. You want to get that heartbeat up, go through that 30-inch turn for log, the way these gentlemen have just done. Almost complete exhaustion. Here's the slow motion. Timing. They work together a lot in the evenings. We'll talk to them later. Here's the final cut through now. The log, as soon as that end of the log hits the floor, the platform, it stops. All right. Bill and Jim Bob Damascus have won the double bucking, and let's see what they have to say. Three brothers from Oregon, Jim Bob and Bill Damascus. What's the secret of this work? Just a strong back?
Mainly the saw. The saw's got to be cut, and it don't matter how big and strong you are if you don't have a good saw.
And the saw, tell us about the saw.
Oh, the saw, my brother made that one by hand from a blank. Put in about 200 hours on it. It cuts the wood.
What do you fellas do for a living?
Well, I cut logs and sell insurance. And
that's quite a combination.
Right. I sell insurance.
Good. Well, yeah, if you're as good as insurance salesman as you are with that double buck, you must be something. There they are, the double buck champs, Bill, Jim Bob Damascus. And we're here in Albany, Oregon for this Timber Carnival, which originated back in 1941, and we'll be right back. There are a lot of interesting events in this Timber Carnival. The one that has caught my fancy is called the springboard chop. I think it combines a lot of elements of a good athlete: strength, endurance, balance. They must balance themselves on springboards. They're using a steel-headed axe honed to razor sharpness. One of the best young loggers around is Jim Taylor of Redding, California. Jim, give us the insides of this springboard chop.
Okay, Kurt, I've already pre-notched this hole, but what you do is you place your first hit in at a sharp angle, then you hit straight in, and then not quite a sharp an angle, and another straight in, and 4 hits. Hopefully you've got your block in, or cut in, and so you put your axe up, put your board in, up you go, jerk your axe out, do the same thing on this cut, then you go on up into your block, put your other board in, make sure it's firmly set, hit your axe out, steady yourself. 4 hits, you've got a chip out. From then on, you just place your hits in the right spot, and then speed and endurance.
So you're working against the clock.
That's right, and a lot of good guys.
Incidentally, the trees used in these events were felled in February early, so the sap stays in the trees and the bark stays on. Makes it much easier. All right, here's our first man in the first heat. The old vet Clayton Stewart, Tasmania. There's Ron Hartel, the all-around champ. And Earl Marcellus, who is president of the Northwest Logging Association. He's from Leavenworth, Washington. Here they go, and the clock starts as soon as that axe hits the log. They have to cut the notch just right. Accuracy count. Look at Hartel. Great angle on his board. The board must be inclined upward to give him better leverage for the second cut. Ron Hartel's in the lead up on that first board. There's the veteran Stewart from Tasmania. He's up on his second board now. Now they go to work on the 14-inch alder block. And they must cut through that. As soon as the block hits the platform, it's all over. Here is Marcellus. He's up now on his second springboard. But look, he has a low angle. He's not getting the right leverage. He did not make a good notch cut. On the other hand, Hartel has a good angle for leverage, and he's going right to work. He'll have to turn around and then come through the backside. Stewart is right behind him, 60-year-old Clayton Stewart. This event requires balance and power, accuracy with the axe, and they all practice safety, believe me, with those axes. Now he's turned around, Ron Hartel, and he's in the lead right now. The record for this event is 1 minute, 6 and 9/10 seconds. Hartel, there's Marcellus. He's making his turn. He's having trouble, though. and he'll be mad at himself for making a bad first notch cut with a low springboard. Hartel is just about there. One more maybe. He's got it, and he's the winner. Ron Hartel wins the first heat with a time of 1 minute, 29 and 5/10 seconds. By the way, he's on the way to repeating as the all-around logging champ of this Timber Carnival. Watch him in slow motion. There he is making the second cut. The axe goes up above in the alderwood. Now here's the springboard in. No time lost. They have to be agile. That's what I mean, an all-around athlete here. Good incline on the springboard. He goes right to work in the alder block. Next group, we're looking now at Albany Marcellus, the brother of Earl. He's from Spokane, 38 years old. We have Lawrence Matheson from Australia. And the last man is Dan Jackson of Bellingham, Washington. They're ready now, and the clock will start when that axe head hits the log. They're underway. Second heat of the springboard. Look at that. Right away is Lawrence Matheson. He's already made his first notch. That's Albany Marcellus just behind him, going for his second cut. And having trouble is Dan Jackson of Bellingham, Washington. And he has a very bad angle on that board. He's cutting without any leverage there. The leader right now, Lawrence Matheson, 29 years old from Australia. Doing well. He's up now on the alder block on top. As soon as he goes through that, and part of that alder wood hits the platform, he's the winner. The time to beat is Hartel's time of 1 minute, 29 and 5/10 seconds. Albany Marcellus is trailing. He's going to make his turn here pretty soon and come in on the backside.
Lawrence got a good cut going this side. They got to turn around and cut the back.
Specialty axe heads. There in the green is the leader right now. That's Lawrence Matheson. Matheson has made his turn. He's coming into the backside, and he's powering through, and he's just about there, but he may not be able to beat Ron Hartel's time. This is Marcellus on the backside. He's not going to beat Matheson unless Matheson falls off. A few more cuts there for Lawrence Matheson. Look at the power. And they have to hit that log just right. Good angles to take away most of the wood they can with each chip. He's ready and he's down, and Lawrence Matheson of Australia wins that heat. His time will be 1 minute, 34 seconds. Ron Hartel is the winner. 1 minute, 29 and 5/10 for the springboard job. And wood is what it's all about in the Northwest. You took $3,800 out of here last year. You may do just as well or better this year.
Who told you that?
One of the judges.
They did.
You don't count.
I'm supposed to be telling everybody that.
You don't count your money. Congratulations.
Thanks. All right. It's getting hot out here.
Oh, yeah, take the hat. Look good up in British Columbia. We're going to be back now with women's log rolling and then an exciting event, the men's speed climbing, after this message.
It's a CBS Sports Spectacular exclusive. Last night's Hearns-Cuevas war for the WBA welterweight title. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
We're now into the finals of the women's log rolling. And two sisters have reached the finals. The defending champ will be Julie Janke. She's in the white. And her sister Jenny, 17 years old, is in the black jersey. 2 out of 3 falls. Marvelous balance must be required here. I think all these log rollers could be tightrope walkers. They speed that log up, reverse it, try and out-trick their opponents. They look at each other's feet to study what the other one's doing. Julie is the defending champ. She's won this event the last 2 years. Look at them go. She's got that log rolling. If they go 3 minutes without a fall, uh-oh, Julie, the defending champ, is down. And her sister, Jenny, has won the first fall. In slow motion, let's see how she did it. They're really threshing now. Jenny reverses the log. And she has Julie in trouble, and down she goes. We're ready now for the second fall. If Jenny wins this one in the dark jersey, she is the women's log rolling champ for 1980. All right, Julie goes to work, and Julie has her sister off balance and wins the second fall. So they're even up, and we'll go now to the third fall, which will decide the championship. If they go 3 minutes without spilling each other, then they'll go to a smaller diameter log. And we haven't had that happen so far. By the way, there are 178 competitors in this timber carnival from 7 countries, but these 2 sisters are from Winlock, Washington. 16-year-old Julie, nearest you. Jenny, 17 years old, on the far side in the black. This will decide it. Watch the footwork, the agility, the marvelous balance. Slippery water, and Julie's down, and we have a new champ. Julie Janke. For the last 2 years, the women's log rolling champion has been dethroned by her sister, Jenny. Real competition between the 2 sisters, and we'll have a replay coming up to see how Jenny won the championship. That is a very, very skillful art. She starts to slip, she goes down, and Julie is out of it, and Jenny's the champ. Now let's talk to the 2 sisters. Where did you 2 get started in this sport?
Our mother used to roll.
Oh, did she?
Uh-huh. She was 3 times world champion.
Does she beat you all the time?
No, she don't roll no more.
How many young ladies you know do this?
Oh, there's quite a few. I
Really?
mean, lots. Yeah, there's lots.
Is it a good sport for a woman?
Yeah, it's fun sport.
Looks like all the gals in it were very young, though.
Yeah, there's quite a few young ones coming up, which is good.
Well, I want to congratulate you for winning the women's log rolling, and your sister is a runner-up.
Thank you.
Quite a log rolling family. And these thousands of fans here now are looking forward to the men's speed climbing contest, up and down 100-foot Douglas fir poles. Greg Hart of British Columbia will be going against the defending champ, Clarence Bartow of Grants Pass, Oregon. And Clarence's brother, Steve Bartow, had an unfortunate accident earlier in a similar contest, the tree topping. Steve is on the left. It's Ron Downing. Now here's Steve Bartow. This simulates topping big, tall Douglas firs. Now watch what happens. Look at him. He goes down. Down he goes. A 75-foot fall, and he is injured. Steve Bartow. And he had to be taken off this tree. His brother went up to help get him down and taken to the hospital also. But he came back. Here we go. Bartow, the defending champ, on the left. On the right is Greg Hart. Bartow holds the record here, 33 1/10 seconds. This requires everything. Up and down. Bartow is in the lead right now. As soon as he gets to the top, he starts down again, and watch them come down. These are 100-foot Douglas fir poles. Bartow's probably the best in the country at this. Goes up, rings the bell. Look at him come down. Clarence Bartow will win this easily and defend his championship from Grants Pass, Oregon. And he's down, and he is the winner. 36 3/10 seconds. Clarence Bartow, the champion speed climber from Grants Pass, Oregon. A good run for you? What do you call it, a run up or run down, huh?
Oh, I had it not too bad coming down. I didn't go up as fast as I should be going up.
You hold the record for this in many areas that you compete in. What's the secret of this event?
Well, just having good leg muscles for one thing. Having a good stride and learn how to run on a balance.
Well, we had a dramatic happening here. You had to go up and rescue your brother, Steve, who had a fall. How is he now? Have you heard from the hospital?
Well, I guess he pulled his shoulder out of joint or something like that, and he's going to be bruised up and sore for quite a while, but he's tough.
Clarence, how dangerous is this event?
Well, it's one event you get killed at, and I don't think you can any other one out here.
Clarence Bartow, the champion speed climber. This Albany, Oregon Timber Carnival is just that, a carnival of fun, also a promotion of wood products and the logging industry and sporting events that come out of that industry. A lot of friendly folks in this area, and tourists come from all around. We especially appreciated the cooperation of the Junior Chamber of Commerce of Albany, who staged this event. And they like CBS there, too. And I want to thank the JCs for honoring me as being the Grand Marshal of their big parade. Other events, such as the skidder races, a lot of power saw events. How about the axe throwing? Jim Taylor of Reading won this one. Watch him throw this bullseye. Ron Hartel won the all-around championship again, $1,500. 7 countries represented here, $25,000 in prize money. Now here is an amazing combat. Remember the fellow Steve Bartow that fell down the pole 75 feet? He came back from the hospital to stage his famous clown act. Down below on the platform, a fellow just found out that Steve has been dating his girl, and he's unhappy. Here's the mad suitor. He's after Steve. And there goes Steve for still another fall. What a man. What a logger. Well, we've seen a way of life of America. The logging industry that started back in the 1800s in the great Pacific Northwest has spawned some men who have special skills of the deep forest, which have now turned into competitive events. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I'd like to call Mr. Pete Rozelle, the commissioner of the National Football League, and start a new professional football franchise with about 11 of these men with the strength and stamina, endurance, and coordination that I've seen here. It's really a unique American event, the Timber Carnival from Albany, Oregon. And now...
Now, that time is going to stop when that piece of wood hits the ground.